My bad, y'all. I messed around and hit a button and canceled the video out. I was trying to charge my phone up. So yeah, as I was saying, so when you're paying someone for their expertise, it's because it's either something that you yourself can't do for yourself, or maybe it's something that you'd rather save time because it's something you'd rather not be doing. So with that being said, if you're paying someone for something that you can't do or you don't know how to do, you know, it's easier for them to to hype up the service, to spice it up, jazz it up for you because you don't know what's involved in that. You don't know what's entailed in that, to be able to know if that's really a fair price given the labor um, that goes into it. So, for example, for perfect example, um, videographers, the role of a videographer when you, like, let's say you're trying to shoot a music video, is to capture all the shots, right? So they're shooting all the scenes that's going to need to put the video together. Then they edit the footage. They do like a color treatment. Now that I don't really know how to get into that particularly. I'm not that invested in involved in the music editing process and video editing process to tell you about the color effect or whatever they may do to touch up videos. But shoot the footage, chop the footage, and then bring it all together in a cohesive manner where you actually get, your music video, an end product, right? So if you don't know anything about the process and what goes into it and you haven't looked into it, then you would think like, damn, yeah, I mean, it's expensive to hire a videographer and it can be expensive. Videographers usually want, a couple $100 if you want them to shoot your video for you and give you a finished product back, right? So you're like, damn, I don't know what all goes into it. It's, you know, shit, they want all this money. I just got to pay it, right? And then they'll say, oh, well, the time that goes into it, and I've got to do this and that and the third. If you don't know any better, then it's like, okay, whatever. But see, that's why knowledge is power. That's why if you're ignorant and you're willfully ignorant and you decide to remain ignorant, you're doing you're doing yourself a disservice because knowledge truly is power. With knowledge comes a better leverage point to negotiate, you know? So I decided to start messing around with the video editor software. I've been using this free editor software called, I think it's called Open Source. Open Shot Video Editor. It's a free thing. I downloaded it for free. You can do all types of stuff on there. I may have made a video about video editing and all that. And I don't think I ever posted it. I can't remember honestly, but it's not as hard as it would look or as hard as you would think. Like it's definitely something a person could learn if they take the time to sit down and learn the functions of the app. Honestly, I think that video editing and all that, I think it's easier than trying to learn to make beats, trying to learn to produce music, because with that comes like a whole nother realm of technicality. Like you have to know, uh, it's much more, I feel like, scientific to an extent, and it's much more, the art of making music. It's just more involved in my personal opinion. It's more complicated, like to make sonic music using these softwares than, say, taking footage that has been shot, chopping it up, putting the little transitions in there, uh, timing it right, and then making a finished product. I make all types of little ads and things like that using my video editor software. You know, I think it would be easier to teach video editing than it would be easy to teach music production, me personally. So once I started tweaking around in there and learning what all goes into it, I'm like, wow, uh, videographer guys, like camera guys, they're making a killing off the music video game and for their services. But I could also understand because I am a business guy and I understand cost. the cost of that equipment that they're using is expensive. Those cameras are not cheap. They've got cameras out here that cost probably more than some cars cost. Like music, like a video camera equipment is expensive. So I understand that's factored into the price they charge for their services. The skill level that they have to acquire with training and over time, or however they acquire it, that comes with the cost. So that's understandable, you know. But it's just like, damn, you know, stealing yet, charge all that money, and you know, fuck it, man. I hate videographers, and because I'm a rapper, I guess they hate me. You know, I don't really hate them, and I don't think they really hate rappers, but it's just one of those necessary evils on both sides. They don't really want to work with rappers on average, I don't think. But you know, there's a bunch of rappers out nowadays, and a good amount of them of us are willing to pay for their service. And uh, I mean, if you want to do music videos, you need a videographer. You need somebody to shoot it for you. You might be able to get away with chopping it up and editing it yourself, but you need somebody to stand there and hold that motherfucking camera. You know, hold the camera like you hold an L. So, yeah. So I haven't really been focusing on YouTube. I've been really on a Spotify high and an Apple Music high because, like I said, YouTube, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. That just sound like a lot of shit. Versus with every stream you get from Spotify, you get at least a little bit of change, fraction of pennies. But I mean, you know, you're already getting a payment. Versus YouTube, you have to build up the platform so much before you can start to monetize. And Apple Music, every time someone buys a single or not, you're getting a payment. So I'm like, well, yeah, I do this for the love of it, but I'd rather get that money, you know, even if it's 0.003 cents or whatever they pay out. I'm with it. So yeah, I've been running Facebook ads. I stopped running the TikTok ads because I got tired of. It just seemed like it wasn't the conversion wasn't right. And that's something I want to talk about too about running these advertisements. Is that you know I set up a Facebook pixel. I use my link tree to set up a pixel so I could try to track the results. Um, you gotta be careful if you're trying to market internationally because like I was marketing in Africa and like Indonesia, some shit like that, and it would say that I'm got these low ass conversion rates, like conversion costs. Like it would say 70 cents a conversion, and that I got 200 conversions. But I'm looking at my Spotify stats and I'm looking at my Apple Music stats, and shit ain't adding up. They telling me I got 200 conversions this week, but I only got like two new listeners. So what that's telling me is that someone in the funnel is either stealing my advertising money and not truly in line about how many people it's converting, or I must have some type of bot traffic that's being pulled, through from these foreign countries. So I had to switch it up. I said, you know what, I can't look here. If you don't speak English, I'm not fucking with you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be on no fuck shit, but I'm not fucking with you if you ain't speaking English, man. So now I'm targeting the US, the UK, and Australia. I was trying to target Canada, but I wasn't really getting any results from Canada. They say I had one listener in Vancouver, but they weren't showing up in like the regular Spotify area. So I cut Canada out too. I say, look here, the US will be my North America, the UK will be my Europe, and Australia will be my Australia. I tried marketing in France, Spain, Germany, a couple Japan, a couple other places, but it just wasn't pulling any results in from there. Mexico is a tricky place too because I can pull from there, but not the numbers that my Facebook pixel is telling me that I'm pulling from there. So once again, it leads me to think that maybe there's some bots over there. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, so Maybe I'll pick the YouTube game back up now that I stopped focusing on YouTube and I've been running my ads and focusing more on um on Spotify and Apple Music. Now I guess we've experienced some growth, but it's been so long since I've been on YouTube that I can't even remember where I was prior to this 261 to know if I truly grew or if I'm just my mind playing tricks on me. So that's what I've been up to. Um, I decided that I'm not really going to do the music video route too much anymore because once again, the costs. I don't want to. I'd rather that couple $100 that I pay a videographer. I'd rather just put that in my advertising budget to run a campaign to get streams that to get the payment because I'm not going to get paid off YouTube. I'm going to get paid off Spotify and Apple Music. So, just financial decisions. Since then, I got two jobs now. So I work my main gig Monday through Friday, and then I got a weekend gig that I'm working now too to try to pay for these advertisements. The thing is, music game is very expensive. So you wonder how come a lot of guys that get on come from the streets. Them street guys, they getting paid. They getting that under the table money, or they got somebody financing them with some under the table money, or however they getting it. The music game is expensive. Recording costs are expensive. Most studios is probably on average maybe around 60 to 80 bucks an hour, maybe. So just think about 60 to 80 bucks an hour. Now, me, I'm a bit of an outlier of an artist. Like when I go to the studio, I'm prepared. My songs are typically already written and rehearsed. I could knock out, depending on how complicated the song is, how layered it is, how many different things I gotta do to make a final product of a song, and also how many takes it takes to get it down just right. Or if I want to revisit it and add something new that I thought of that would make the song better. To lay a song down could take anywhere really from, say, 20 minutes to like an hour. It could take you, like, if you just flowing through rather efficiently, 20 minutes to an hour. So you could probably knock two to three songs out an hour, maybe more if you really hitting that day. Um, and there's about say, let's say there's 12 songs on a project that you want to do. So 12 songs. Let's say you knock down three songs an hour. 12 divided by three. That's bare minimum 4 hours. But in all honesty, from what I've experienced, it takes way more hours than that to complete a project. Like probably I spent some thousands of dollars on Mustard Seed, my first album, before it was finally completed. Now, mind you, much of that wasn't because it just took that long. There's always a few songs that are just hard to nail just right. Let me pull up the track list right now for Mustard Seed. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm talking about. The problem songs of mine that held me up, where I kept having to go back to the studio because I just couldn't get them right, and it led to costing me all that money. Um, Buu E, that song took me so many takes. That kept me in the studio paying that hourly rate. Um, Pyramids took me a couple tries. I think I had it right. Then my mind was messing with me, and I tried to redo it, and I ended up going with the original take. So that was a waste of me some money. Um, Be Mine, that was the biggest money dump on the album. It literally took me over 500 takes of start and stop. Like the engineer hit start and stop over 500 times. It may have gotten up to like 800 times, almost 1,000 times working on Be Mine. And Be Mine still was not in a perfect state. I still didn't perfect that song. Be Mine is probably the biggest, I don't want to say regret, but it's the biggest like what if story like in my catalog because I never could get the song right. You know, singing. I mean, I'm not a singer. I'm a hip hop artist. Y'all know that, but you know, singing in an open environment versus singing in a sound insulated booth, it's just different. Your your vibrato don't seem to really hit the same in there in that studio. It seemed like, and maybe that's just me tripping, but it just was a different experience singing in there with the headphones on to the mic versus just singing out in the open. But I wish I could have gotten a perfect take of that song. I never did though. Monopoly also took me several tries because and there's still some things I would have done differently on there. So you can easily spend. So let's see, let's say $60 an hour. So that means that I spent anywhere from like maybe 100 to 150 hours working on mustard seed, paid hours working on mustard seed, approximately, based on the number I just crunched up, just an estimate. So recording costs are expensive. Then getting cover art costs money. Are you going to take a picture and edit it yourself or have somebody edit it for you? Are you going to have someone draw you up a cover art, design you a cover art? Cover art costs money. Uh, I mean, paying to distribute it with your distributor. Some people got DistroKid, some people got CD Baby like me. I like CD Baby. I don't like a subscription and having to pay annually or however often for my music to stay up. I'd rather just pay one time and then that be done with it and then just let it be there forever. Um, so paying the distributor, I mean, that don't cost a lot of money, like maybe $15 a single, 30, $40 an album. That's not bad. But with like DistroKid, they get you with this unlimited release model where they say, oh, you can release as much as you want to. You just got to pay us every year. After a while, I mean, there's only so much music a person is going to drop in a lifespan. After a while, the money that you're paying them yearly is gonna uh, it's gonna surpass the amount of money you would have paid each time you dropped with say CD Baby. You know, so I'm looking long term game on that. Now I'm good. Let me work with CD Baby. And then promotion to promote your music running ads that costs money. That costs money. However many dollars per day you decide to dedicate to a campaign, that adds up. And that's why I went and got a second gig because I'm like, that's gonna be kind of expensive paying that off of my one wage. So let me go get a little second gig and do it like that. And I'm still now I'm looking at trying to get a third gig. This shit ain't no joke, you know. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be on grind mode for real, trying to make this shit happen. Uh, my thing is, it don't really matter if I blow up or nothing like that, but I want to release a certain amount of albums, at least six, and and then just promote them. And then whatever happens within that process, that's what happens. I got one out and done, Mustard Seed. But on Mustard Seed, I said I'm gonna have five classics when I'm done with mine. I was talking about five classic albums. So I got five classic albums I gotta pump out. I think the first is gonna be the second album that I crank out. We about to start rolling out music from that. No Love drops November 26th at 12 midnight. I think this second album of mine is gonna be my first classic. I've got all the beats for my what will become my third album, and I'm done writing it, all the songs on there. That's gonna be my second classic album. Uh, so yeah, I mean it costs money to promote, so that's what we doing. We grinding hard, gathering up that money to promote. So I might get back into the YouTube swing of things and dropping some videos, but I don't know. I'm just not a sitting on the internet kind of guy. I realized that I'd rather be working towards, I'd rather be working behind the scenes, making things happen that way than sitting on the camera all day. I guess I couldn't be no talk show host because I don't feel like coming up with topics, and I ain't trying to pay nobody to come up with no topics. I just don't. I'm just not a sitting on the camera all day type of guy. I'm a behind the scenes with my sleeves rolled up kind of guy, making shit happen. So that's my updates. That's what I've been up to, what I've been on. Um, yeah, yeah. I guess I'll catch y'all on the next one. If you're not subscribed to if you're not following me on Spotify, get on Spotify. Follow me on there. Stream that music a couple times for me. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Till next time, y'all. Peace.